Hello and welcome to the Day Ahead. It's Tuesday, January the 6th. I'm Andrew Gagan. The local market is set for a solid start with ASX futures up around 1/3%. Global equity markets climbed overnight as investors reacted to the turmoil in Venezuela. On Wall Street, the Dow hit a record high, boosted by the financials and energy companies. Investors betting that the Trump administration's move against Venezuela's leadership will allow US firms access to the world's largest oil reserves. The S&P 500 Energy Index rose to its highest level in almost a year, led by oil majors ExxonMobil and Chevron. Weapons manufacturers also advanced following the daring US raid on Venezuela, with the S&P 500 Aerospace and Defence Index at a record high. Among the mega-cap tech stocks, Tesla accelerated after 7 straight sessions of losses. Nvidia dipped, with Chief Executive Jensen Huang set to speak later today when he's expected to outline the strategic vision for the chipmaker's AI strategy. Among the financials, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase hit record highs, with analysts on average seeing the S&P 500 financial companies growing their earnings 6.7% year on year in the December quarter. Crypto-linked shares advanced as Bitcoin hit a more than 3-week high, and US-listed shares of BHP and Rio Tinto tracked the copper price higher. Captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has appeared in a New York court and pleaded not guilty to narcotics charges, saying he was kidnapped and remains president of his country. He faces 4 criminal counts: narco-terrorism, cocaine importation, conspiracy, and possession of machine guns and destructive devices. Meanwhile, the future governance of Venezuela remains unclear, while a US embargo on its oil remains in full effect. On the data front, US manufacturing activity contracted more than expected in December, extending its slump to 10 straight months as new orders fell again and input costs continued to rise as a result of President Trump's import tariffs. However, the PMI remained above 42.3, a level that ISM said over time was consistent with an expansion of the overall economy. US Treasury yields fell as traders readied for new data that should offer fresh clues to the state of the US economy and the likely path of the Fed policy. The yield on the 2-year note was down more than 2 basis points to 3.45%, the 10-year falling to 4.16%. And the US dollar has retreated from a near 4-week high against most major currencies. The Aussie has risen above 67 US cents to be at 67.2. Oil prices have gained as traders assess the possible impact on crude flows from Venezuela, which holds the world's largest oil reserves. Brent crude futures settling up more than 1.5% at close to $62 a barrel. Gold has risen to a 1-week high following the US strikes on Venezuela, which has added to bullion's safe haven appeal. Spot gold up around 2.5% to $4,440 an ounce. Copper has made further modest gains, and iron ore adding close to 0.5% to be just shy of $106 a tonne. And Bitcoin has rallied to be above $94,000. It's quiet on the data docket today, while on the corporate front, the Financial Review is reporting that BlueScope Steel is considering a $13.1 billion takeover bid from Kerry Stokes' SGH and its American partner, Steel Dynamics. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.